what's the challenges that you've encountered as a Filipino immigrant living in the States?
We didn't really have a lot of resources here. And so it was like back to square one. I had to like build my own life. I had to like go out there, make new friends. I have to like, go to school, work hard, work for every single cent I have. And kind of just like, beat those odds. And it's not easy, right?
Welcome to the third episode of Taho Talks. We're in San Francisco, and you can barely see the Golden Gate Bridge, but trust me, it's there. Today, we're gonna talk to Colleen Javier, who is a full-time radiology technician who co-owns a self-portrait studio as her side hustle. Tara! Welcome to Taho Talks, Colleen. Thanks for having us here today. What do you do for business?
What I do for business, basically, we are called The Click Studio. So it is the first self-portrait studio in San Francisco where you can come in and take your own high-quality professional photos in a completely private setting with just the click of a button.
Wow, I love it. So everything's like automatic. You don't need anyone to take your photo.
Yes.
You just need to arrive, and that's it.
Come, yeah, and that's it. Everything's set up for you. All you need to do is like come, pose. That's it. There's no photographer.
That sounds super convenient. But before we dive deeper into what The Click is or what they do, I want to learn about your childhood. Where did you grow up? Any influential moments or people? And how did you move here to the US?
So I grew up in Manila, Philippines. I was born and raised there. And I didn't move here until I was 18. So right after high school. Basically, my mom was the one who really made us move, my sister and I. And I think she wanted us to have, I guess, better opportunities here, like most parents do.
Yeah.
But I went here and went to a radiology program to become a radiology technologist. And it wasn't really until very recently that I, was interested in becoming an entrepreneur. So like my plan was completely different.
Relax the mouth.
Wait, can you face the back wall?
So you have a day job as a radiology technician, but how do you balance that with The Click?
Basically, a lot of discipline and structure. So what helps me is time blocking and also task management. So like time blocking would be like blocking certain hours of the day or the week. And this is like for The Click. Task management is more like prioritizing the tasks that are urgent and focusing on, let's say, one task at a time that needs to be completed before I do anything else. So it doesn't matter what time I do it. I just need to get it done for the day before I could move on to the next.
That's good that you found like tactics in running your day job with The Click also. But before we dive deeper into The Click, I want to learn about the history. Like, how did you think of this business?
So the concept of self-portrait studios have been around actually, especially in Asia, especially in Korea. So it's not entirely new. But one day, one of the co-founders, Olya and I, we just had met. And we decided to get brunch. And she was telling me, hey, one of my friends went to this self-portrait studio in Canada. She took headshots for LinkedIn. She got great photos. It was affordable. It was private. Like, I want something like that. But there's nothing in the Bay Area. There's nothing in San Francisco. And then she goes to me and goes like, do you want to start one? And I literally just sat there. I'm like, okay, like without really having the tools of like, being a photographer or like knowing anything about business. So neither of us are actually photographers.
Right.
But we were like, oh, we'll figure it out. We'll ask someone.
So when was the last time you actually had Taho?
I don't remember. This is probably in the Philippines last year.
Last year in the Philippines.
Yeah.
This is better because it's with Taho Talks. Can you tell me more about the Click team? Because I know that you co-own this business with 2 other people.
Yes. So there's 3 of us. There's 3 of us founders and equal owners. There's Olya, who basically brought this idea to us. She is CMO or head of marketing. There's Sunny, who is our photographer. He has 15 years of experience, and he's the one who really figured out the photography aspect of this and taught us everything we know. He is also in growth and sales. And then what I do is I'm the COO and CFO. So I manage day-to-day things and all the finances.
What's your secret for working well with your co-founders?
The secret really is clear and honest communication. So we try to hear each other's concerns, thoughts, ideas, and really give each other a chance to like speak or be heard, especially when we disagree. I think at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, and it's important to keep that in mind, that we all want what's best for the company and that we also have very good intentions at the end. And they're very, very, very good to work with. We always laugh at each other, or we laugh at our mistakes, we laugh together. I don't think there's ever a time we met that we didn't laugh. So I think being able to, be self-aware makes it easy for us to communicate.
Right.
And we also, we praise each other, we thank each other, we celebrate each other's success, and we leverage each other's strengths, basically. So it's just really good. Like the 2 of them are very good people to work with, and I'm very lucky. Okay.
So you're gonna hear
Good. I'm gonna reread it.
The boba is like, it's different eh. Okay, so let's go into the specifics of running this business. Or I guess starting the Click. What was your process in setting everything up?
So before we started, we weren't sure if this is a service that people would want in the Bay Area. So what we did was we threw a party. We threw a party at Olya's house. It was our soft launch. We converted her office into the studio. We invited our friends, and then we made people try it, right? So this is our concept, like made them try it, have them fill out surveys to tell us what they think about it. And we had just great positive feedback. So we were like, okay, there must be something here. A month after, we decided to do pop-ups, right? So we're just like, okay, let's not commit to something yet. So we rented the basement of an art gallery, actually. And then we rented it for a couple weekends, put ads out, put it on Eventbrite, and all of the days sold out, basically.
Wow.
So we were like, okay, like if we had to make a quick decision, right? Like if we were gonna do this, we needed to like commit to like a store,
right,
or brick and mortar. And we have to commit to at least a year to really see if this is something that's gonna work. And literally the month after we signed our lease.
It's nice. So basically you had to test out the concept, which was a proven success. But how did you find your location, at least for your first location? Because this is your second.
Yes.
So what was your process for finding your first location?
Okay, so first we had to decide and define like our mandatory requirements, what's desirable and what is optional, right? So we wanted to be in San Francisco, we wanted to be central, and we wanted to be accessible to like all kinds of people in the city, right? So we wanted kind of like a trendy place with good foot traffic.
Right.
But the main constraint was the budget. So we kind of took the projections we had from like the pop-ups, you know, thinking, okay, this is what we're probably going to make ideally. What can we afford? So once we identified what we can afford, that basically, we had to stick to that budget, right? And like San Francisco, it's not cheap.
Right.
So we looked for spaces, we visited different sites, and then finally the space on Haight opened up and it was under the market value. I remember having to write a letter to like one of the owners and be like, this is why we need to be here, you know, and yeah, eventually we got it.
Okay, that's really good. Running The Click, what challenges have you guys encountered?
One of the great challenges we've encountered and are still encountering is probably the lack of time. We all have full-time jobs, so we have to work our day jobs and then fit this in between all of that. For a full year and a half, it's just the three of us doing everything.
Gotcha.
So like a couple months ago, we just hired a couple people to help out.
Nice.
Yeah. But that whole time, it was just us three, like running the studio, doing the marketing, doing the finance, every single thing. Like it was just us. So I think, you know, we didn't really maximize our time for the business, right? So I think that kind of like slowed our growth. We weren't open. We're still not open every day. Like we're only open a couple times a week. And then another challenge would be, I think this business is just self-funded by us. So we didn't have external investors. We didn't take out a loan. So we just put our initial investment and that was it. So we had to be incredibly resourceful in terms of how, you know, we scale and how we market. We had to be creative. We couldn't really spend a lot of money. I don't think I'll have the same way again. It's not going to be the same. I'm like, where's the talks?
How is The Click actually doing right now, like compared to what it was a year ago?
I mean, we're doing good. Actually, luckily, since we started, it's been going well. Like we got our initial investment back within 3 months of opening.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we've always been in the green since month after month. So we've never actually, and I made sure because I'm like watching like everything that goes in and out. So I think, you know, we had to make sacrifices, right? Like we couldn't spend so much, but we had to like survive.
Right.
So it's been green since then. We never had to put any money back in again.
Right.
So it's pretty much just like running itself, and it's been profitable since we opened for...
Lucky you.
Yeah, very, very lucky.
Lucky you.
Like,
that's so great to hear.
Yeah.
What are your goals for like the next 1 to 2 years for The Click?
We do have this, you know, grand ambition of making a brand out of it and being like the leading name for self-portrait studios. And I think a way to do that is opening up more studios in different locations, different states, and, you know, possibly be known in the US or maybe even internationally. Right. That's the like big picture dream. We also want to incorporate AI eventually into this. So like, yeah, there's a lot of things that we're thinking or figuring out. And those are probably the next step. So basically just scale more, like, and hopefully like update our equipment to provide like better service.
Gotcha. And so when you mentioned like expanding, you were open to potentially like franchising The Click?
Yeah, it's been a talk. And we've also had people who are interested. And I think we were just so young, you know, we're just like, how, like, so it's a matter of, it's always a discussion, right? Because
Right.
like, let's say Olya, she's very big into, no, we need to like grow,
Right.
do it right away, you know, strike while the iron's hot. Sunny and I are more like, let's just sit and think about
Right.
this. Like, we don't have a system yet. So it's always been like in the talks. So yeah, it's something we constantly talk about and we think about.
Right. That's exciting. That's honestly a good problem to have.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Because like right now you're all in the green, and so you're in expanding mode rather than just in survival.
Yes.
So
Yes.
really good for you.
Thank you.
For our viewers, what's your advice for our aspiring entrepreneurs?
My advice for aspiring entrepreneurs would be identify your North Star, have a clear vision for what you want out of this. Once you establish that, every choice you make from the moment you wake up in the morning will direct you to this vision that you stated that you wanted to do. It will help clear all the noise, all the distractions, right? It will also get you through really tough times because it's not going to be a glamorous journey, you know. Additionally, you have to be willing to pay the price,
Right.
right? So, you know, it's going to be tough. You will experience failures in different ways. You will get criticized. You will get, people will doubt you. You will doubt yourself. And so if you have your North Star, you're always gonna focus on that and nothing will matter.
Alam mo yung funny, pag yung sa'yo puno pa, tas akin wala.
Dapat.
But what actually drives you to do all of this besides your 9 to 5?
What drives?
Yeah.
I feel like, I guess as an immigrant, you have this chip on your shoulder that, like, you have to make it
Okay.
in a way. Like, you have to not waste this opportunity and all the sacrifices you made, all the sacrifices your parents made for you, you know, to have a better life or for you to be here. So I think, you know, I don't know, this little chip is always like, you need to do more. You need to like give back and make something more out of yourself.
Right.
So.
And as an immigrant, you've lived in America for more than 10 years now. What's the challenges that you've encountered as a Filipino immigrant living in the States?
Wow. I mean, a lot. You know, I think a lot of immigrants can relate to this, but when you do move, like you leave everything behind. You leave your friends, your family, you know, the place you considered home, and you start from scratch. So like I got here and like I knew no one. I had no community. You know, we didn't really have a lot of resources here. And so it was like back to square one. I had to like build my own life. I had to like go out there, make new friends. I have to like, you know, go to school, work hard, work for every single cent I have. And kind of just like, you know, beat those odds. And it's not easy, right? Like you could see all these things as a setback, but then, you know, you have to be resilient, I guess. Like you have to keep moving and adapt. So.
Right. Well, you're already living in your dream as an immigrant and then with a successful business. But what's your biggest dream as an entrepreneur?
My biggest dream as an entrepreneur is really continuing to create a positive impact in society by providing valuable services, you know? And in a way, we're doing that now. Sure, like, you want to make profit out of it, right? And like, you want to make money, and that's great. But I think when customers give you such positive feedback, like, it is so priceless.
Right.
Like, there's so many people who walk in here who are shy, who are nervous, doesn't want to take their photos, and they come out so happy, so confident. And it's all because they like what they see and they're so grateful. And they tell you how, this is great. It's so good that we have something like this in San Francisco, right? And I think that is the most rewarding thing. Because I think on a deeper level, we're more than just, a self-portrait studio or a photo booth. Like we are an outlet for self-expression and for self-love. And so for people to like see themselves in a way that they want to is really powerful. And to me, it's like, as much as I want to make a change in this world, like it really changes you as a person.
Right. I like that. I like that. Especially because like you come in, you're only looking for photos, but actually when you come out, you actually feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
That must feel really rewarding.
And yeah, it keeps you going. It makes everything worth it,
Right. Last request. I want you to invite everyone to The Click. We have a camera here, here, and here.
Okay, so everyone or anyone who's watching, if you are ever in the Bay Area or in San Francisco, please come to The Click, where you can come and take high quality photos for a fraction of the cost and have fun.
Thank you all for watching.
Okay, so all you have to do is click this button.
Okay.
Press the top. You can hide it, do whatever you want. Strike a pose.
Natural.
A little more this way, right there. Follow with your feet. Nice. Chin up just a bit. Go ahead, click all the way down. Nice. All right, then one more time, you're gonna put your hands in the back, just like that. We're gonna move this a little bit right there.
Look at the camera.
The camera. Nice, chin down just a little bit. Yes, go, click. All right, smile, full smile. There you go, nice.
A little bit more exaggerated. So it's just
Oh, it's out of focus.
we'll right, there we go.
Thank you all for watching. If you want to see more of this beautiful fog, please stay tuned right here at Filipino Hustle. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace! Bakit walang bridge? Drawing